I didn't know you could pig my pig.
Too bright!
Oh, hey, everybody. I'm
Hey.
definitely not playing a game.
Welcome to the Blind Way Podcast, where Aaron plays Marble Snap.
All right, you got me. I was playing Marvel Snap.
How was your match, Aaron?
I haven't won the last turn.
Oh, how is your match, Aaron?
I'm kind of in the lead, but kind of not.
We made the joke that, you know, Blind Wave is what Aaron does in between Marvel Snap matches. And
He took that to heart.
he took it to heart. So this is how
Now-
we start podcasts.
I don't know where I should play this.
Now, everything that we do, he's like, gotta get back to the other thing.
The other thing. All right, we're going to do that. Hopefully it works. But anyway, he turned my Galactus into a pig. Then he pigged my pig as well. He kept
pigged
throwing,
your pig?
Pigged your
he kept
pig?
throwing down spider hams.
What's...
It was not good.
Oh, that pig.
Spider ham pigs you.
Oh, pig, your pig. Okay, I understand now. Gotcha.
Anyway,
Well, Aaron, in between matches of Marvel Snap, how you been?
I lost. I've been doing good. We had Pokemon NAIC,
Yeah.
which I did. I've been working on my VGC video about that, which has been interesting because I've been writing a script for it
Yeah.
so that I can try to figure out what all I want to say. And it keeps getting longer and longer, and I've been like, is it too long? Should it be shorter? I don't think I'll know until I like actually record it and go through it, and then we edit it and see what we need to do.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
but that was a fun experience. Also, that same week, Melanie talked me into doing auditions. We have a local theater here, and they've been doing auditions and stuff for a long time. And it's like my in-law. It's her brother's like girlfriend. Also has been like, Aaron, you should come and audition sometime. And I was like, I don't know. I never feel like I have time. I'm worried I'm gonna forget lines.
Yeah.
But they didn't have a lot of people, so Melanie and I went. And we did auditions for that, and that was fun. And then, like the day before heading up to go to Columbus for NAIC, they called me and offered me the lead role for the play. And I was like, I guess. I'm like, did you call the right person?
Are you allowed to say what play it is?
It's called Blithe Spirit.
How long is it?
How long is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Can we get permission to film it and live review it on podcast?
Let's live stream it.
I don't think that you could show it to a lot of people. I don't think. I know
Well, our
there's.
podcast isn't super well viewed.
I know there's. I know there's laws against filming
Okay.
for rules. It's copyright issues and stuff like that.
Sure,
If you
because
get
it's
But
like
we can
reproduction.
record our reaction.
I think you could maybe do that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
Or you could just
Fair
come. You
use.
could come see it.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the
it's-
way that you get your reference footage.
I guess we could have a live outside the
We'll
chat.
just make a highlight reel.
It's gonna be in September on what is it? Like the 15th, 16th, 17th. There's 2 weekends, but I forget what the 2 weekends are. I know 15th, 16th, 17th is
Gotcha.
one. I don't remember if it's 8, 9, 10, or 22, 23, 24.
Aaron, what we'll do is we'll see it, and then on podcast after,
You'll talk
we will
about
give
it.
you the harshest reviews you ever heard.
Yep.
But fair.
But fair.
And it's important to be fair.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely
But no
is.
holes barred. Here's
We're-
what I think.
You'll
We're
never
all
work
about
in
the
this town
fairness.
again.
Never again. We hold sway. What happens?
He's never acting again. It'll be interesting. The general idea of the play is that my character is an author, which is funny. Just because
That is-
I'm an author.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get ideas for a book, so I for the book that he's writing, he invites a medium to like do like a seance and stuff, just to try to get like ideas and the jargon and all this kind of
desperate.
stuff for the play. He doesn't
there's
know what idea he
seance?
wants to. Not saying seance.
Oh, okay.
I'm a saying.
But in the process of doing this, they end up summoning his dead wife.
Whoa.
But he's also already married.
Yeah.
So he's remarried.
So he has remarried, yeah. So in the house now is my character,
Okay.
my wife,
Your dead wife.
Current wife.
and then my dead wife,
Oh, your dead wife and your.
who my wife can't see, but I can see.
Oh, it's like Three's Company.
So it's like a dark comedy kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
Awkward.
and Melanie is playing my dead wife.
Your actual wife.
No, my actual wife
Your
is playing my
actual
dead
wife
wife.
is
Yes.
playing your dead wife. Who's playing your actual wife?
Yeah, who's playing the new wife?
Who's playing Melanie?
Her name is Angie.
Angie.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've met her a few times from the play, from
Yeah?
the theater and stuff like that too. But yeah, I don't know her super well. But Melanie started messing with me, being like, "Is there any kissing scenes with your other wife?" And I was like, "I don't know. I haven't really read the script."
Somebody else told me.
She started like trying to freak me out and stuff. I'm reading through. I'm like,
You
"Is there
can't
any
read the
kissing
script. That's your problem.
What do I do? What do I do?" So, but actually, our first rehearsals this evening. So
This evening.
it'll be interesting. I think we're supposed to go through and kind of make sure we understand motivations of characters and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So
Nice.
Blocking, who's aggressing, who's defending, that type of thing. Cool.
yeah,
Now,
there is a
have you been a lead in a play before?
back in high school.
Yeah.
I played
Drama?
a doctor in, dang, what's the play called? There's a guy who has like an imaginary bunny.
Harvey.
Harvey, that's what it is. I played
Man.
the doctor in Harvey.
Yeah.
So you're the psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wasn't the main role with the bunny friend,
Sure.
Yep.
but
You weren't. Yeah.
I
weren't
was
Jimmy.
I was in there. But I look back on it being like, man, if I had done it now, I'd do it like this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm hoping those kind of ideas.
half of my
Come to
motivations
you.
back
Click
there
here
was
with this.
the girls that were in drama class. Not
Sure.
just to have a good time in drama.
What?
But I was telling I'll just call her my sister-in-law to make it shorter.
Okay.
But she's the assistant director to this play as well. And I was like, well, if you guys, whatever you guys need me to do, just make sure you tell me, and
Yeah.
I will commit. I have committed to many bits that we've had here on Blind Wave, you know, whether it's physically or whatever. But I'll do stuff.
You've done
I'll make it as
foolishness
funny as
in
you want
front
to do.
of hundreds of thousands of people. You
this-
can do
to this
around
point,
the block
millions.
over here. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get you.
He doesn't have to look them in the face.
It's true.
You know, there's so much truth to that.
or they always have the actors come out and stand out where they can talk to the audience and stuff afterwards and whatnot. But
Turn the house lights down.
but it's different. I don't know. There was a nervous factor with NAIC for Pokemon and also for the auditions and stuff too.
Yeah,
but
I get you.
and before Badonkadonk, our first one, I was really nervous before
Really
the
nervous
first
before that?
Badonkadonk, which
Well, that
There's-
means that you're passionate about what you're doing right now, then, too, because I knew how passionate you were about Badonkadonk.
yeah, I suppose it just there's like, and I said this to her too, but whenever we've done stuff for Blind Wave, typically if we're doing some kind of acting thing, it's filming, and we can redo it, try it again, try different methods until we get what we like.
Yep.
And then whenever we're live, typically I'm just live as myself,
Yeah.
not like as a character.
Or
So
when we're
now-
filming reactions. Like,
Yeah.
that's live. That's in the now.
Yeah, so I'm like, this will be different being live
Yeah.
as someone else.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
see how
that
it goes.
D&D give you the practice you need.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think you'll ever do what I did when
Well-
I was in a... Okay.
Speaking of D&D, we're also doing British accents for the play.
Yeah, Elor.
So I'm like,
come
oh
on.
no,
Elor's gonna make
what
a
if I go
reappearance.
Wakandan again?
Aaron, just
We do not
start
do that.
watching as much like British sitcoms as you
Yeah.
can stand.
Aaron,
Watch
just
IT Crowd a
Think
lot.
of
Yeah.
Palpatine. Think of Sidious, and then think of Palpatine in there. Just sticking with Palpatine, not Sidious's. Your
yeah.
Don't do that. But
Okay.
go into more Senator Palpatine. Like,
Okay.
oh, watch your career with great interest.
Watch your
you
career
know?
with great interest.
Yeah, you got it. Like, you gotta be up there. You're Palpatine.
All I know the director said so far is he wants it to have a hint of British,
Yeah.
but not to be like, I think he brought up like maybe like Peaky Blinders, something like that. It's not like a very heavy.
Sure.
Sometimes,
Not a Cockney.
yeah,
or
because
anything
he
like
doesn't want it
that.
to be hard for people here to understand too.
Sure.
So that will be So that's another part
yeah.
of it.
Do a Mid-Atlantic accent.
Okay.
Look it up.
Like
Hey.
the Mid-Atlantic. Porter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
a Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins accent.
No,
That's
that's
the classic.
too strong.
It might be.
Mr. Bean. Do everything silently.
So, but yeah, it'll be an interesting experience, I suppose. But what were you saying, Eric?
Well, I
Hopefully-
was
don't
saying,
do
like, I
what?
don't think you ever do what I did, where the highest on the cast list I ever got was Lazar Wolf and Fiddler in the Roof, which is a very small part.
Oh.
But I had a scene with the lead of the play, and it was a pretty hefty scene. It was 3 or 4 pages. I was trying to convince him to have me marry his daughter. That's the scene. And I get, I don't know, 3 or 4 of my lines in and forget everything else except the final line.
No.
And I have pages. And there's nothing I can do. The
No.
lead is looking at me, and he's being like, don't make me look bad, And I'm like, There's only one thing I can do with confidence, and I said the final line. He looked at me in pure panic, and the lights just went down. We went to the next scene.
That's what I'm worried about.
It was the worst.
Oh,
My friends were. I had friends in the audience, and I could hear them laughing. Yeah,
That's the worst.
I mean, it didn't take me long to laugh about it, you know, because I mean, look, it happens. Sometimes your brain just short circuits, especially mine. So I was able to laugh about it, but in the moment, the sheer like panic and disappointment that the lead actor looked at me with, and then the stage director's like, "Take the lights down."
No, that's exactly what I'm worried about. But how many times did you perform it?
Oh, I mean, a bunch.
Was there multiple performances?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
because we have 5. I
A
think.
bunch. I mean, yeah, it was a class every day.
Well, yeah,
or
but
every
I mean,
other day. So I was doing
how many
it all the
shows
time.
did you have?
Oh,
Like in
2.
front of an audience.
Just 1 or 2?
We had 2.
Like a Saturday and a Sunday?
We had a dress rehearsal that we would film, and then I think a real one. No, maybe it was just 2 real ones.
Gotcha. I'd say a lot of school plays usually are like 1 or 2 showings
Yeah,
of it.
It wasn't much.
So this one I know it's 2 weekends, so I have at least 5. I don't know if I have 6 or not, but I'm like, I need to make sure. The first one will be the worst one, I think.
Sure.
And I'm hoping it'll get better from there, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's fairly long. There is a movie about it, starring I always mess up her name. Isla Fisher? Is that how you say her
Isla-
first name?
Isla?
Isla Fisher? I know you don't really pronounce the S, I don't think.
Oh.
She's in it, and also Judi Dench.
Oh, damn.
Cool.
But yeah, Dame Judi Dench. She it came out 2021, I think. But it has the general premise of it and everything too. I don't know. I think the
Interesting.
ending's different from the play.
Yeah.
I think, but everything else is
Yeah.
pretty similar.
And I should point out, too, my flub wasn't from stage fright. Like, I wasn't frightened. I wasn't nervous. I simply could not think of any of my lines.
Yeah.
It's like
It was just a. It was like.
it's
why
like
my
when
ear
I'm
doesn't work. It's just
talking
not
about an
connected.
episode or something, and
Yeah.
I just forget the next word that I'm going to say,
Yeah.
or forget a character's name, like
Yeah.
Exactly.
Naruto.
That's why I'm worried
Like,
about it.
I know Naruto's name.
How many times did I forget Christian Bale was in Thor?
How
At
many
least
times will
3.
you default to like a Star Wars quote if you don't forget? You
Hello
think,
there.
Hello there. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you could do an
so-
Obi-Wan.
It will be it'll be a fun experience, I
Just
suppose.
pull Christopher Walken at SNL, and we'll just have your lines in the front row on giant poster boards.
Yeah.
See, what I should have done was the last play they did, which is called Abernathy and Marietta, which is actually it was written locally. But the general idea of that was like these guys came and brought a play to Marietta for this theater group to put on. So it had this meta idea of being within theater.
Cool.
So half the play is them working on a play to where sometimes the line is line
Yeah.
and they get it from the director who has the lines there, you know? And
So you could always use that as a fallback if
Yeah.
you actually forget your line
Yeah.
and everyone thinks that it's
Any-
real.
Yeah, it
that's
just makes it a little
Any
easier.
problem you could run into, your character could have that problem.
yeah, you
Yeah.
could just have that. So
That's awesome for improv.
there was actually a time Coulson was in it, and him and one of the lead roles were having a scene in the play, and initially it wasn't supposed to have any pauses or stops or anything, but I think the other guy like skipped a line or got something reversed, and Coulson was like, "Oh no, what do I say?" And I watched it like 3 times, 4 times, and Coulson kind of paused there, and he looked at the director and went, "Carolyn, line," and she goes, "Here you go," and then told him what to say, and then they started from that point and continued on.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where it felt like, well, because they're working on this
Yeah.
play and they're not
cool.
actually performing it, so it worked out really well. I was like, dang, this would have been a good one to go into.
Yeah.
It's only whenever
It's
they're
like cheat codes.
yeah, it's only when they are not working on the play that it kind of doesn't work.
Sure.
Whenever it's like real people talking, you know.
Sure.
But it was pretty neat.
That is cool.
But yeah. Anyway, I think that's most of my eventfulness over the last couple weeks.
I also went to the Pokemon tournament, not as a player, but as a watcher. And I was there when the junior champion was crowned, and it was the best moment of the whole weekend.
From the VGC one?
Yeah, what was his name?
Avery?
Avery. Yeah.
Avery was the junior champ,
rocked it.
yeah.
Like, he had a plan. He did that plan 3 times in a row. That plan worked. That's what I saw, you know? He did a great job. And then the rest of the weekend was fun as well. But that was a highlight.
Yeah. The while
And
we
I
were
was also surprised about how close and hyped the Pokemon Go matches were. And that's not a very deep system, but because it's about literally like split-second timing stuff, it can get pretty nail-biting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melanie did some of the building battles there while we were up there, and they did a non-standard. So like standard is like the most recent expansions of the game, right? Expanded includes almost everything, I think.
Yeah.
So everyone thought it was going to be like some of the more recent Sword and Shield stuff that just recently circulated out, but they ended up going back and pulling out a Sun and Moon deck for building battle, where you open a box, you get 40 cards, you get a few booster packs, you open them up, you make a deck.
Yeah.
When doing that, some people got it because it was like a, I don't know, $80 pack that, you know, it's hard to find now. They paid $20 to enter. They just took that pack and left. Melanie was going to play, so she opened it up, and while they were opening up their packs and everything, someone was like, what's the big card in this? And they were looking it up, and it's a Gardevoir Sylveon like tag team card. And while they were going through, Melanie pulled that card.
Yeah.
And got the big card from that set in this building battle that she paid $20 for. It's like a $200 card or so.
That's nuts.
So we'll see. We were sending it off to get graded to see how it is.
Okay.
However, the tips on the bottom had some whitening to it.
Yeah.
And there was like a small indent on the back.
What would you guess the grading is going to be? Like a 6 or so?
Yeah, maybe a 7 at best, I think, sadly. But I think, too, Melanie said the boxes weren't in the best of shape.
Yeah, they probably didn't
They've
take that
been,
much
you
care
know,
of it.
probably stored for
They've
who
probably
knows
been
how
handled
long.
quite a bit.
Hey,
So-
But
how
it
many
was
people
really
can
cool.
say that they pulled that at a Pokemon tournament?
Sure, yeah.
You know?
It was really cool.
You got to tell that to
Yeah.
your grader at some point. Like, I pulled this where they do this stuff, you know?
Right here, they were doing it.
Like, in my Pokemon Go, like I have some cool Pokemon, but I have a bunch of Alolan Pokemon that I caught in Hawaii.
That's cool.
And, like, to me, that's way more special. Like, that location data where I caught it would make sense where I got it, you know? So maybe there's something like that. Well, you got this while you were at a international tournament.
Yeah. And we haven't sent any cards to be graded before, and I'm like, might as well grade this one. It's not like we're going to get rid of it. And we don't really have that set built for a binder or anything, so we're like, grade it, put it up, we'll just have it and keep it.
Cool.
So.
I also had something else happen to me this week. As you guys know, I'm playing Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom at twitch.tv/blindwave if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're just here right now. I played it on Tuesday, and I've been a lifelong Zelda fan to the point where, like, you know, Smash is probably one of the most important games outside of that franchise to me, just because of how I can interact with my friends. And what character I pick generally kind of, like, is who my favorite Zelda character is. Like, I like Link, but Link's not much of a character. Ganondorf's a really interesting character. He's so much fun. Rick, I might change my main.
Is this because of the Norfair that we played last week? Where you're just standing there going, pa, 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 and you're like, ha,
I can't
ha,
believe
ha.
you saw through my ruse. I made all this up. Just no. No, I might main Zelda after my stream Tuesday.
That's incredible.
I
It
still,
was incredible.
That is not a decision to take lightly.
I still think it's because of how low Ganon is. You're just like, you know what?
No, because Zelda's just as low.
That was pretty low.
They're both D
It's
tier.
at least another tier up, right?
He's not switching to Sheik.
No, I'm switching to Sheik. I think that I could justify it,
Yeah.
but I couldn't lie to myself.
That's great.
It was in the 20 years or so that I've been obsessed with the franchise, it was like the first moment where I really felt like this was The Legend of Zelda, and not just everybody being like that joke, like, "Oh, Link, what's his name, Zelda?" You know, it's like, apparently Zelda's not important. She's not on the cover, but put her on the cover because
Nice.
that's how. That's
See, when I left that day, you were like, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing side quests.
side stuff.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
what he
all
said.
right,
You
sounds
won't-
fun.
I
And then the
can't-
next day, you're like, my life has changed.
I
Like,
can't
man,
tell
that was
you
some
what
side
happened.
quest.
I can't tell you what happened without spoiling what exactly was happening, but there were like, there's a thing that I could learn more information by that I haven't done yet because it's too high, right?
Sure.
And I keep seeing it. I'm like, what is that thing? And just before I was about to be revealed what that thing is, I started like going towards it. I'm like, I'm pretty close. And I didn't see until much later chat being like, no! He's waited so long, he's gonna ruin it, but just by, it got away, and just by happenstance, it felt like the game did it to me, as opposed to me watching what the game was doing. And it was a really good moment. I really loved it, and don't get me wrong, there was a fantastic Ganondorf moment too, but this might be the best thing I've ever seen in a video game, full stop. And that, I must say, comes with a very large bias towards this franchise.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
But full
sure.
stop.
Gonna have to play it.
I mean, I just did Mass Effect last year. I love Mass Effect, but nope.
I went into the depths.
Oh, dude, I love when there's fucking that bass.
I did it once. It was really deep, and I was like,
really
well, how do I get out of this?
Yeah.
Narratively, it might be better, but I don't know if it's going to be a better spectacle than what Final Fantasy 16 has been so far.
You had a good spectacle?
It's just,
I like good spectacles.
it's so crazy. I don't know if you're familiar with the game Asura's Wrath.
I'm
but,
not.
But that's like the last one that I've played that I just can't believe what I'm seeing on screen. It's just so ridiculous what's happening, but epic and amazing at the same time, with some of the best music I've ever heard in a game, with some of the best voice acting I've ever heard in a game. It's like this crazy mix of Game of Thrones, The Witcher, Attack on Titan, Persona, like all this different stuff that I love
a lot of great stuff.
into this one thing.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry as well. It doesn't quite do as good as what those things do well, but it does them all fairly well, and it's a nice like combination of them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's been a good time so far, for sure. And I can't wait to play more.
That sounds great. The only thing I've heard people say, it's all been positive, but I heard some people say, I think it's one of the best games I ever played, but it's not my favorite Final Fantasy. I don't really know what that meant. But I can understand someone saying that about like Breath of the Wild.
Sure. So the gameplay, I haven't played not 13. I haven't played 15. But the gameplay is much different than Final Fantasies have been in the past. It's much more of Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
So I could kind of see that, and it also takes it back to like a medieval setting, which Final Fantasy hasn't done for a long time. So if you're just getting into Final Fantasy, it might not feel like Final Fantasy to you. It's
Okay.
been like more sci-fi for the last several iterations.
So you could probably pick up this game without ever having played any of the others then.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do it with
Very
any
well.
Final Fantasy game, and I think this is a good starting point.
Are any of the Final Fantasies really, are the early ones connected?
No,
Like
so
1, 2, or 3 kind of thing?
So Final Fantasy 10 and X2 are directly connected. And there's spin-offs like Dirge of Cerberus, which is connected. There's some spin-offs to 13. But for the main numbered Final Fantasies, there's no connecting tissue other than themes of like crystals are involved somehow.
Okay.
You're usually playing a rebel faction against like tyranny or something like that. But the actual stories themselves have zero relation to one another. There's no characters that cross over.
Yep.
It's completely different universes, completely different rules. So you can start anywhere. But yeah, like if you gave me this game and didn't tell me it was Final Fantasy and removed the title screen, like I would tell you, well, this is clearly a Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Because like there's still enough in there that's clearly Final Fantasy. It's just kind of masks a little bit. But I feel like the connective tissue and the through line, at least so far, is there, and it feels like a Final Fantasy to me.
I get what you mean. Like I can, back one to Tears of the Kingdom. Like I can understand if someone's like, it's just not my type of Zelda.
Yeah.
It's very different. It's open world. It's treating the entire world like it's an insular dungeon as opposed to like a big thing. But I can at least say on Tuesday, it's not a spoiler to say that Link usually pulls the Master Sword per game, right?
Yeah.
And it's a quest to go get it. This was the best pull of a Master Sword from any iteration of Zelda.
That's great.
And like at least at the very much, I can tell people like that is an experience you're gonna get, and you're gonna be like, another one of these.
Sure.
As opposed to not feeling the same.
So there are always summons in Final Fantasy, which
Yeah.
are these giant, like almost deity-like creatures.
Yeah,
that you summon in battles.
They're the like some of the few things that I know about.
Yeah.
Even having never played.
And this is probably my favorite narrative use of them so far.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, where like it's inseparable from the story, and they're not just like these cool things that you summon in combat. Like they're the core tenet of why the world is the way that it is.
That's cool.
So it's
I
pretty
like
cool.
that. They have more of like a reason to go that hard.
Yeah, and this is the first M-rated Final Fantasy. So
it's M-rated. I
Yeah,
didn't
so
know.
it's dark. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of death. That's fairly graphic.
A lot of death.
Yep.
Man, There was a Final Fantasy game had not a lot of death, but the death it had.
Oh, it
was
sure did.
impactful.
But yeah, it's good stuff. I can't say until I finish it if like where it ranks for my Final Fantasies, but I'm definitely enjoying it.
Gotcha.
Well, another game that we'll need to be playing soon, probably here in like 2 weeks. It's gonna be Dead by Daylight.
And the only thing that could bring me back is coming.
Because later this month,
Who, what, where?
Nick Cage will actually be released into it. We should do that for a group stream. I mean, we could wait until October, but
No.
Have they said any more about what?
there's his perks have been announced and stuff, and he's available on the PTB,
Yeah,
PTR, PT, whatever, player test, whatever they call it.
gotcha.
Player test beta.
It could be a PTS, a PTB, a PTR. I've heard all kinds of PTs.
Can 4
Player
survivors
test
play them at
server,
once?
player test beta.
Player test realm, player test all
test
kinds.
realm.
Can the what?
Can 4 survivors play them at once?
Yes, they.
Then yeah.
I
No,
was
we don't-
watching a
we don't
guy.
wait then.
I was watching a guy play him on the test server,
Yeah.
and it was the killer and 4 Nick Cages.
Yeah. We simply don't wait until October.
Can we get a mod so it's 5 Nick Cages?
But like his perks are interesting. One of them is called Scene Partner, where you can you have to be within the terror radius of the killer, but when you hit the button, it exhausts you, kind of like a Dead Hard or some of those things. But you scream so they can hear you, but you can see their aura for like, I don't know, 3 seconds or
Yeah.
something like that. So you can see where they are and where they're going. So it can be really good for like being able to get that vision when like running away and
Yeah.
trying to see which way they're going on a wall or something.
And it's Nick Cage screaming.
Yeah, all of the voices,
Oh my
the
gosh.
grunts, the everything is
Like, I don't
Nick
know why you're
Cage's
telling me what
audio.
it does. I just want it to happen.
The best thing is Calvin's Nick Cage is solid, so we could have a Nick Cage here
Yeah.
in studio.
Oh,
Nick
yeah.
Cage, Nick Cage.
Can we all dress as one of his famous characters for that stream?
I call the janitor.
The janitor.
Damn it, I have to look and see if I have what I have.
I want to be Face Off.
Con Air.
You know,
I che-
Con Air. You do Con Air. You have a bunny.
It's like blue jeans
I'll
and,
do Face
and like a
Off
white
Gold
tank
Team.
top.
You need
Castor
wig.
Troy.
Oh
Castor
man,
Troy. Calvin, can you be The Rock?
I don't know his character name.
Could be Vampire's Kiss.
Good
I
speed.
could,
Good speed.
yeah.
Good speed.
I'm not gonna kill you. Good
Yeah,
speed.
good speed.
Yeah.
All right, we'll work on that.
But another one is what's it called? It's called like, dang, plot twist. It's called plot twist. If you're
Okay.
holding still and you push your button, you can go into the dying state on the ground, but you don't leave a blood trail and you don't make any grunts. So
So you can just go prone.
basically, so you could hide in the grass, start crawling around. You don't make grunts, you don't leave blood or anything, and you can sneak around that way. And you can recover like you normally do, and you can get yourself back up that one time. But other people can also get you back up, and like, I don't know if it messes it up or not. But you can do it once during the game. You can do it once the doors have opened,
Huh.
or the generators have all powered the doors, or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's some neat abilities within what he can do.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm up for that.
I'll be Ghost Rider.
I don't think our sprinklers will like that.
There's one right over your
Calvin
head
slices
too.
on fire.
But yeah, that one's coming out. Eric, are you still planning on getting to Jedi Survivor though too after
Yeah.
Zelda? Because that
From
one
what I
has.
understand, I'm probably, barring, going hardcore into completionist territory, I think I'm like 75-80% of the way through the game.
Gotcha.
And a lot of that stuff I'm doing off stream anyway, which is just more like, Korok collecting. Like in the last game, there were 900 Koroks,
Yeah.
right? When you find a Korok, it goes, yeah, you found me, and then it gives you a little poop.
Yep.
When you collect all 900 poops, Hetsu goes, you did it, you found them all, and he gives you a bigger poop. And that's it. That's the, it's not
That's
really
your
work.
reward.
It is simply just, it's too much work.
Yeah.
Well, in this one, it's 1,000 Korok pieces, and you just get more poop.
More poop.
And you know what? Respect.
Yep.
Respect to Nintendo. That is only there for Nintendo to be like, you wasted your time. Here's shit.
Here's for the speedrunners.
Wasted your time for this.
So what I'm
crap.
doing is just on my own time, I'm doing Koroks, but only like the first, 400 you need to maximize your inventory
Yeah.
space.
Well, because you want to get all the bows and weapon slots and all that
So
stuff.
they do have a purpose, just not
they
to
have
the
a
end.
purpose, but
It's up to a point though.
yeah,
I remember.
and you're gonna find a lot of them naturally.
I remember in Breath of the Wild, there was a point whenever I got to like, okay, this is all I can get. I don't need any more of this.
No, yeah. Breath of the Wild, there was one save file that I chose to do. I want to do everything. And that was the Hyrule Compendium, and that was Koroks. And I think I eventually gave up on the Compendium.
Yeah.
But I did the Koroks, but it wasn't like go find them all. I literally had Zelda Dungeons map up and was marking them off on mine, you know?
It's the modern Mario design philosophy. Where, like, you don't have to get all the stars, but if you get enough of them, then you can continue.
I do
like,
remember
you can pick and choose which ones you want to get.
I do remember in Breath of the Wild at a point, I was like, all right, I need to find whatever shrines I'm missing. Because I'd been going all over the place, and I had tons of shrines.
Yeah.
But I didn't have all the shrines. So I had to open a thing and try to, like, okay, look at my map. Like, okay, there's one, there's one. Yeah. Which ones am I missing? And there's, like, 3 of them that I couldn't find somewhere or something.
Yep.
So but I had to narrow it down and figure out where those were.
Yeah. There's a really cool, once you realize it, trick to finding shrines this game, where, like, they're hard to find unless you, like, really pay attention. You go, oh, I can find them. Cool. I like how that's done.
Cool, I can find them.
Yeah, it's kind of giving you a map without you realizing it, or without telling you it is. But the cool thing about Koroks, too, is that they're relatively invisible. If you recognize, you're walking down the road and you see 3 bowls, and 2 of the bowls have an apple in them and 1 doesn't, you might go, and throw an apple in there and a Korok pops up, you know?
Oh, I just took the 2 apples.
You just take the 2 apples, yeah. You could do that, you know? So it's a little reward for you if you do pay attention.
Some idiot left these apples.
Like a thing I like about this one is in Breath of the Wild, you could find a boulder, and then somewhere around that boulder might be a little hole the boulder fits into. And if you roll it down the hill, pop, a Korok comes out. But in this game, you can find that boulder still in that hole, but now there's like a basket around it somewhere. So you have to take the boulder out of that and put it in the basket that's hidden. So there's like a small little bit of continuity between some of the Korok puzzles. It's kind of funny.
Okay. Interesting.
Gara, thank you so much with the gifted subs. Gara is
Kristen.
Yeah, who's giving us all of the Yu Yu Hakusho stuff and
yes
so far.
Oh,
yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
So good.
I met a Christian.
A Christian?
Christian.
No,
Not that guy.
You
Not
can't
that
cross
kind
the
of-
street without meeting
Not
them.
that kind
They're
of
everywhere.
Christian.
A lot of Christians.
Kristen.
No, I met a Christian
At Pokemon.
at Pokemon.
Yeah.
He's actually sitting next to me when one of the best matches I had in the VGC happened, and he got to see like the tail end of it.
Cool.
So, which I wrote and talked about in my script. So we'll get to that part soon. But he was really cool. He also traded me a shiny Great Tusk. He's like, hey, I got something to trade you. I'm like, oh, okay. And we met up like on the last day, and he traded me that, and I was like, sweet, thank you.
Neat.
I gave him like one of my extra like Breelooms that I had been breeding to give him, like, this is a pretty good Breeloom. Here you go.
It is it was nice having no idea what the meta was, the current meta in the video game competition up there. But yeah, after watching about 3 matches, I think I understood what the meta was.
You're like, there's a lot of those guys.
Oh yeah, okay. So I understand what's happened since the last game came out and the last rule changes. Okay.
Well, now
Everybody's doing this.
now they don't use half of those anymore. Because
Really?
Regulation D just came out.
What's Regulation D?
It opens up a lot of Pokemon from Pokemon Home. So Arceus Pokemon, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl Pokemon,
That's cool.
Sword and Shield Pokemon are available in the game now.
Okay.
Not all of them, but a lot of them are. So, like, one of the common ones you see now are like Urshifu.
Okay.
So Urshifu's showing up everywhere now. And then there's some other ones too. Tornadus, Landorus, those guys, they're added in. A lot of the legendary birds and the Galarian legendary birds are added in. So there's been a lot of
Now there's
changes.
that as purely a spectator and someone that doesn't even know the game as well, you do get that feeling of every once in a while someone comes along with a really innovative team, but then everybody copies that team, and now the meta has kind of like taken away what was special about that team, and you kind of go back to more conventional setups. So I'm like, oh, that, I can understand why that happens, but it would be hype if you could, like, all right, that's the team and no one else can play it,
Yeah. Well, lots of times you'll see like everyone has the same kind of team or the same generic core.
Yeah.
General core.
Yeah. The same philosophy.
And then someone will find a different grouping that will beat that one with different Pokemon. And then
So
people
you
start,
have like a meta counter team.
So then people start making that one because it counters what's the current meta. So now that one becomes the meta. And then people make a new counter for that grouping.
Sure.
So you kind of have this rotation kind of slowly trickling around. But there's still also, like in Smash Brothers, especially like in Brawl, like there are certain Pokemon where it's like clearly their stats start better than other Pokemon do.
Of course.
So you see a lot of Flutter Mains just because their speed, special attack, special defense is just real high, and they excel at what they do well.
Yeah.
That's why you don't see a lot of
What they do better than anything else, basically.
But it wasn't until I watched some of those matches that I realized, like, oh, that's why Intimidate's so good. Because I've always just been like, yeah, that's cool, but no, they're doing it multiple times by bringing the person out a bunch. You know, I'm like, that makes so much sense. That's like a switch out for free. And then the commentator was like, and there's obviously the switch out for free, and I just felt dumb. I was like, oh, okay, everyone knows about this.
No, they'll switch out with like Arcanine's very common in Gyarados, and they do the Intimidate. This could be a Pokemon podcast. We could just talk about Pokemon, but
I'll talk about Pokemon. I love them.
but the Intimidate will be a switch out to lower attack. But also, Amoonguss was very common, and one of his abilities was called Regenerator. So while he's out, if he swaps back in, he like fills like a quarter of his health.
That's cool.
So when he comes back out, he has more health. So you swap him with Arcanine, you get that reduction. You bring him back out, he's healed more. So things like that. It's just figuring out what your build is and what you want to do and how your team works. Which I understood much better how my team should have worked by the end of everything. It was just getting to that point and trying to figure out how other teams would operate.
Sure.
To do it, but Calvin, do you have anything else from the week or time frame? We had Badonkunk last week, so there's been a little bit of time. I know Rick and Eric talked about games and stuff. And
yeah, not a whole lot.
Have you talked about your dick?
The
Penis update.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ultra Sergeant. Oh,
See? How's your penis?
I passed the kidney stone successfully. That's been, what, two weeks back? 3?
We're coming up on the second weekend since NAIC. And I think you passed it by the time we came back on like Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever.
Weekend, so
you passed
you're
it the
coming up on
day,
2 weeks in.
the Monday that you and I came in to do the movie.
Right. Okay.
Or you had passed it by then, I should say.
I had passed it the night before. So yeah, I passed the stone.
Yay!
Better now.
You did it.
Good job.
I'm really proud.
I offered like punching you to try to like loosen it up and get it out of there.
We all did.
It wasn't in my kidneys anymore, and the other place you wanted to punch me wasn't going to help.
Couldn't even run away.
You don't know that. You
Calvin, what did it feel like?
It felt like my kidney being crushed, twisted, and pulled out of my body.
What direction?
All at the same time.
Which direction?
Yeah, I'm trying to
like
really
out the back
imagine.
or out the front. Is that what you mean?
When my kidney didn't hurt as bad, it felt like I was hanging from my scrotum while someone was punching me in the gut as hard as they could.
We offered to help with that.
I didn't want more of that.
How big was it? Like an inch?
No. Yeah. It was 3 centimeters.
Yeah, it's like a
3
large grain of
centimeters?
sand.
Sorry. No. Millimeters.
3 millimeters.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you ever have
3 centimeters is bigger than an inch.
Okay.
That would be
grain of
ridiculous.
sand in your mouth and how bothersome
Oh,
it is.
no, I'm
You
not
know?
saying it's
How
not terrible.
How
Yeah.
big it feels?
Why is it crunchy?
No, they didn't shoot it or anything. They said it was small enough that it should pass on its own, and it took. How long did it take? It took like 4 weeks to
It
pass.
felt like a long time.
Felt like a long time.
You were dead, like,
yeah,
we got your death certificate.
it was that.
It was that
long. Yeah.
Yeah.
At one point, like you had been here, I went upstairs. I came back down for like more reactions or whatever we were doing, and you were just laying on the floor. And I was like, "Well, he's dead. We have to bury him, I guess."
Tragic. I can't get my chair through here. Come on.
And, like you were behind the table, so no one would have seen you.
Yeah,
It's true. Do you want to talk about something I've been watching at home? So a common curse of loving an anime is like you'll watch a season and you don't know if there's going to be another season,
Yes.
right?
And Netflix show.
Well, true enough. But like, you watch 97 Berserk, and you're like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. God damn, there's so much more manga to cover. And then there's just never any more. Well, 10 years ago, I watched an anime called The Devil's a Part-Timer.
The Devil's a part-timer. Okay.
And I really liked it. It's a funny, like, slice of life. Rob corrected me on the pronunciation. It's a reverse isekai, I think is how you say it.
It's okay.
isekai. But it's great, and I loved it. I'm like, man, I want to watch more of this. And then a year passed, and there was nothing, and then another year, and then another year, and then another year. 10 years until
10
season
years.
2 just came out, and I've been watching it.
What?
And it's so good.
It took
so
10
funny.
years
They
for a
just
new
forgot
season?
about that shit.
10 years, yeah.
Wow.
It's like some of those British shows where like they just kind of make it when they want to.
Kind of like Sherlock and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
done
what
that.
took so long, but man, I'm watching that right now. Evie is cackling. Like, we have to pause it because Crunchyroll subtitles don't work. Goddamn Crunchyroll. So we have to like pause it because we're all laughing so hard and we don't want to miss stuff. But it's been a lot of fun. So I've only got like a couple episodes left, and then it's going to be another 10 years maybe for season
Wow.
3. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. That and Hajime no Ippo. Too long. Too long.
So you said Rob corrected you on a pronunciation,
He did.
and then you said it. I still don't know what you're talking about. What's an isekai?
It's-
Reverse isekai.
Yeah, so in
Ikisa?
an isekai is when a normal person from the normal world goes into a magic world. So like ReZero.
Okay, so
Right?
this is taking a magic person into a real world.
Yes.
Okay, I get you then. Yeah, I didn't know what that word was. So whenever you said about it, I'm like, I don't know what he means. It didn't clarify anything.
Those that know will know. Those that don't.
I'm sorry.
But it gives me hope that any show that I've loved in the past, I just got to wait 10 years. It'll come
Yeah.
back.
That 97 Berserk, 10 years.
Well, you know. I still got time. I'm still alive.
I haven't watched anime for 10 years, so I take no
It's-
fault in not knowing isekai.
I think it was yesterday, the day before, was officially 11 years since the last Game of Thrones book came out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's like 75% done, right?
That's what he says. I saw a picture of him in a one of those like clear balls you can get in and run in.
Yeah.
Like he's at a convention, like having a great time, and someone just like shared that picture. Like, what is he doing? Write the book.
He's 75% done. He's 75% done at this one, and then he's got one more to
There's
finish
one
it
more
off, right?
after. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like John's. I don't want to talk about spoilers or anything, but like a big thing that happened to a character that
Yeah.
was, I don't know, 3 seasons ago from in the thing, still has not resolved.
Yep.
You know, it's nuts. I just was thinking about your day. Like every once in a while, I remember just how impatient I am.
See, like fans need to get him addicted to drugs
Maybe.
or
Well-
something that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
So he runs out of money,
Okay.
and he's gotta have it.
You
I
know,
was
there's-
wondering where you were going with that.
You know, did you ever see he had a like an
Gambling,
he had an interview with Stephen King, and he famously asked Stephen King like, "How do you write so fast?" And the unsaid thing was cocaine.
Cocaine. There you go.
And smoking, because that's what Stephen King used to do. He would do cocaine, and he would write 2 books a year. Gosh, and they were crazy.
Efficiency, and you need money for that.
Yeah.
Pressure.
I understand, okay? I've spent 2 weeks trying to write the script. Sometimes, like, I take my laptop home. Like, all right, I got it. I'm going to go. I'm going to work on this tonight. I'll get home, and there's something with the kids going on.
Yep.
Or I had the water heater store. I don't think Rick was around, or Cal. Someone wasn't around when I talked about it. But my father-in-law
I
was
was
over.
there.
And he had been downstairs doing something. My brother-in-law had been over. He was visiting and stuff. And he came upstairs. He's like, "Your water heater's leaking." I was like, "What?" He goes, "Well, it's not a lot. It's like just it was like dripping from a pipe, and there was also going down the side of the water heater. So there's like kind of like this rust spot where it has been dripping, and we haven't noticed it." And he was like, the valve on it is where it's coming from. Sometimes they get, some corrosion and stuff in there, and if you loosen it up, it'll stop and whatever. And he started like twisting it,
Yeah.
and like it went from like dripping. I'd say it was dripping once every 15 seconds, maybe
That's not much.
maybe 20 seconds. Like
Yeah.
there was a drip, and you would notice it if you stood there and watched it.
Takes like a
Right.
real long time to form.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it would
I get
drip.
you.
So like it was there.
Yeah.
That might even be an exaggeration. It might have been 30 seconds. I don't know, but
Damn.
there was water there, and it would take a while to build up. And as he was messing with this, it didn't take as long anymore. It kept taking less and less. until it started spraying off the top of it.
Started like a stream of like.
And he went, whoop.
Did he choose that moment to stop?
He's like, well, I'm like, should I turn off the main line for the water? Because where he was the shutoff valve for the water tank. So there was not a higher shutoff valve above that, except for me going and turn off the shutoff valve. So I went and turned off that, and then we started trying to deal with that. Melanie was gone. I forget where she was. She was busy with something else. And he's like, well, we got to get to Lowe's. It was a Sunday. He's like, they close at 8. And it was like 7:15. And we were supposed to go out with them and my brother-in-law. We were going to go get dinner and stuff, have dinner. Turned into like, hey, can you guys order pizza? We'll pick it up on the way back, and we're going to fix this leak now that my father-in-law started up. So we went back, tried to find...
He didn't start. He just made it worse.
Yeah, it was already happening. But yeah, it did get worse. It was funny. We had issues trying to find exactly what we needed. So we found what we thought would work, and we took it apart to get the piece that we needed, because they didn't have just the piece that we needed to kind of put back in and screw in. And got that, and it works fine. However, the leak that I think was the issue, I don't think stemmed from that. I think it stemmed from like a solder part where like two pipes connect and there's like a solder joint.
Yeah.
I think it stems from that. So like it wasn't even that was leaking. It was coming from somewhere else. He just found a new issue.
Oh my gosh.
So now I still have that. It still leaks like very slowly, but we'll fix that eventually.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cool.
I texted Melanie because she called me and I was like, hey, I'm on my way back home with pizza. My truck had been here at the studio. He dropped me off here. Then I waited for the pizza. I picked it up. She's like, you guys haven't eaten yet? And you're getting pizza? It's like, look, long story. It's not my fault, but we don't have water right now at home. She goes, why? I'm like, I'll tell you when you get home.
Hang up.
And by the time she got home, I had it fixed and stuff, and we were all good with that. And she was like, so what happened with the water? I was like, what are you talking about? You must have been in a state of hunger. You were hallucinating. Like, it's all fine. And then today she was going to get a shower in the morning, I think it was, or maybe it was last night. And she's like, why don't we have hot water? I was like, oh, shoot. I didn't I turned the breaker off on the hot water tank. I didn't turn it back on, so forgot about that. But it was a eventful Sunday.
Sounds like a disaster, much like the FTC losing its case against Microsoft.
Yeah. They did, didn't they?
Well, they're appealing, so it's not out of the woods yet. But looks like Microsoft and Activision and Blizzard merging together.
And Blizzard.
Yeah.
Buy your competition.
I wonder if WoW will go to the Xbox.
Exclusive.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe.
That's one of the things, too, is like, I wonder how much more it would pull to the Xbox for them, having those exclusive kind of things on the console, versus how much more would they make just making it for all the consoles and just selling more of the game.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it would increase the amount of support and everything that they would need to do.
It's a good point. Could you imagine, like, I mean, I know we have streaming now, but if, like, movie companies, like, they gave you a Blu-ray, but you can only watch it on a Sony Blu-ray player, you know?
Yeah.
Like, or you can only watch it on the Fox Blu-ray player or something. That would be nuts.
Well, I remember back during the 360 and PS3, it was Blu-ray versus, like, the HD DVD.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, hey, you want HD DVDs? PlayStation doesn't read that. You need a Blu-ray. And HD DVDs did not win. And now everything went to Blu-ray.
Yeah, true. But I mean, some of these games just take so much money and labor to make, and we already have problems with you know, artists being taken advantage of in that regard. So
yeah,
it's tough. I don't have a good solution, but I don't know if this is the right way.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine like most multiplayer games, they'll probably keep as multi-console as possible because you need a player base, right?
Sure.
That kind of thing. Although I guess Halo isn't on the PlayStation, but
it's on PC.
It is.
So that's one of the things too. Like WoW won't switch to just Xbox. Like everything will still. But will they get rid of BattleNet and just make it on the Xbox store?
Sure.
Like the companion app or whatever.
Yeah.
Just have everything through that.
Yeah, because right now, like Activision has, you know, Call of Duty, Diablo, StarCraft.
It has everything on their like
All
Blizzard.
Yeah, all that's through
app,
the BattleNet
Yeah.
thing. So with Microsoft taking over that, they may get rid of that and only put it in their Xbox store and use the Xbox companion app. Maybe, I don't know. But I did. Who was it? Was it you, Rick? There was someone that was telling me that like the one stipulation it was that Call of Duty wouldn't become exclusive.
I did see that. I don't know if that's true. I saw it on the Twitter.
Gotcha. On the Twitter.
On the Twitter.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Yeah. So.
Hey, you know what? Twitter might be something only for Grandpa soon.
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe.
I certainly have seen a lot more old-timey opinions on there.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
Unfortunately, they're people that are still trying to make decisions.
I think Twitter is going to be like, it's going to be the new TNA wrestling.
Yeah.
Where it's like, every year, it's like, man, this company's going to die. It's all going to fold and implode. And then 30 years later, it's still going.
I can at least say my personal frustration that I had Twitter pretty good for my spoiler bubble.
Yeah.
And the spoiler bubble burst. So I kind of have to just abandon it. But also, like, that was true of my entire algorithm that I had crafted on Twitter, you know? Now it's just showing me shit that not only do I not want to see, I don't know why anybody would want to see it.
Twitter's bad. YouTube has been terrible for me lately.
YouTube hasn't been great. Like,
yeah, same for me.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, both of them have... I feel like it's just been reset.
Yeah.
And just because those videos pop up now, like, it thinks that I want them.
I mean, it really could be
frustrating.
an algorithm reset. I mean, they do that every once in a while whenever they've learned new things.
Yeah.
Now it just works differently. But
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Like, half my
announced.
feed are videos with like 27 views about topics that I've never looked at before.
And don't get me wrong, I really like that they're pushing smaller creators.
Me too.
But at a certain point, there's a reason why some creators are small, you know, because, well, they are missing very obvious things that are keeping their retention really, really low. And I'm not saying that we're gods of retention. We certainly are not. But, you know, not every video needs to have a 70, second intro that's visual effects. You know, it's like, you gotta get to it. You gotta get to it. But no, I agree. It's kind of cool, but it's also strange that they're pushing a lot more smaller people.
Yeah.
I haven't had that.
Really?
Not that I've noticed. Usually I open mine and I see a bunch of Pokemon.
Redheads.
Actually, there is one here from Wizards of Waverly Place or something.
Yep.
I don't know who they are. But I see a lot of Pokemon stuff. I'll see some. There's Legal Eagle. There's like Philip DeFranco. A lot of Pokemon, some Smash Brothers.
I see a Rick.
Ooh. It's also possible that I've just watched
Yeah, there's Rick.
all of YouTube that I'm interested in. And there's just nothing left to show me.
Well, I'll say what exactly it is
Just got to
for
wait
me.
another 10 years.
What exactly it is for me is I'm still getting the big things that I want to see, but I'm not seeing the best of new stuff. I'm seeing new of what I've already seen. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, if I'm looking at house tours, right? I used to get recommended the biggest house tour channels there are, and now I'm getting recommended very, amateur house tour videos that aren't as, interesting to watch.
Yeah.
If I'm on like a binge of something, right? That seems to be the thing that's changed for me.
Yeah, for me, what was happening was I was looking at cars when I was getting ready to buy a new car. And so, like, I was looking at all these videos for reviews, and then eventually they started giving me, like, ones in German.
Yeah.
And in French.
Sure.
And stuff. And it's like, well, this is kind of what I want, but it's also of no use to me.
And I make liberal use of not interested, don't show me this, So
I need to do that more often.
My algorithm is pretty tight, or at least it is on Waste Squadron.
So I've never done that. But
I have done that, and I've found that it makes it worse
Really?
at times. Yeah.
I always do that
specific
whenever I've
topics.
seen something, and I like not interested because I've seen this. I need to do that for more other stuff as well. I just assume it's smart enough to know if I scroll past it, I'm probably not interested.
Sure, I get you.
I feel like YouTube counts any interaction, including negative, as like, oh, this is a strong topic that garners a reaction. I need to get this to more people, including that same person that said they're not interested.
Yeah. How often do you guys find yourself influenced by the thumbnail versus the first, 5 seconds? Because a lot of these devices are starting to autoplay now.
Yeah, no, I love the 5 seconds.
Yeah?
Like, for me, the only thing a thumbnail will do is turn me off from it.
Sure. Gotcha.
But otherwise, like, it doesn't catch me, I don't think.
I just
It's all about the title.
As I'm like, changing my own viewer habits, I'm just noticing things like, man, we invest a lot into that thumbnail, and I don't look at thumbnails anymore at all. And our first 5 seconds looks the same as their whole video.
See, for me, I think it's like creator, thumbnail, and then title. Like, if your title is so long that I can't read all of it, I will hover over the title so that I can read all of it and make sure that it's something that I want to watch, and then I'll click on it. But if the title doesn't seem like it's interesting, like, I won't click on it, even if the thumbnail looks interesting. Like, it's probably going to be the first 20 seconds of discussion, and then they're going to move on to something else.
That's the thing. That's why, like, I have all the numbers of what people are doing when they're on our channel, but it's so hard to guess why they're doing something. But like Dababa put in chat, like, TikTok's algorithm is fantastic, and it's because everything you engage with, you either watch to the end or swipe. So you are engaging actively. We don't get to see people that are watching our stuff and being like, no,
Yeah.
we don't get that chance. Like, but every TikTok, you give it like a 3-second chance to see, like, impress me. No, you didn't impress me. And that's just instant data. They're able to. It's why it's just so damn effective. Like, they can really just get so much more data points with everything.
Yeah, it sucks for me because the things that I get the most enjoyment out of are like abrupt chaos.
Sure, no, I understand.
So I'm always hoping that it's going to get me.
Yeah, I get you.
And then I watch like a 30-second long short of some guy like looking at the gravel in his driveway and like pulling a single weed, and then the video cuts. It's like, damn it, I hated that. I want that time back, and I never will. And I don't want that man to post videos on YouTube anymore.
I don't think I use the 5-second thing at all. I think mine is titles and thumbnails.
Yeah.
Like, I think usually I look for, like, I have certain people that I watch now, kind of, but I think usually I go to YouTube and I type in what I'm looking for, and I just look for it. But I never usually use the like the autoplay thing.
Yeah.
I have to purposely not look at some of the thumbnails because they focus on eyes, and eyes bother me.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean?
It's just an autistic thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, and then also, depending on the level of thumbnail you're hitting, there's like, Mr. Beast is the perfect example of this. Like, this guy has done this for years and has, like, it down to a science. This makes the perfect thumbnail. It's the most clickable. But when you see it on desktop, it looks freaky because he has made it look perfect this big.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to see all the details. But, like, whenever you see it full screen, it's weirdly like in 5K, or something like that, and it looks off. It looks photoshopped, which incredibly is photoshopped.
Oh yeah, no, his thumbnails are weird because his eyes are always
exactly
so strange.
But the thing is like, he wouldn't do that if it weren't successful,
Sure.
So I get that feeling too of like, I don't know how that works on people, but it must. But yeah, the TikTok one is interesting because, like, imagine opening YouTube and you have no choice what video you're about to ready to watch.
Sure.
And then in order to find the next video, you get no choice of suggestions. You just simply move on to the next random video.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there is a search function.
There is
in
TikTok, but people generally don't use it. They turn it on, and it kind of gives you more of that TV feel of finding something that's on.
Sure.
As opposed to going and looking for something, so they're very different beasts, but that algorithm is trained so hard.
Tommy, your keyboard's so loud.
Yeah.
Like, you were trying. You were like a walrus over there slapping on it.
That's a great image. We should get a walrus.
Well, Eric, didn't you have, or was it Rick?
I got one other thing.
Someone had something that they were
casting news
wanting to bring up, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
There's a new Superman movie coming out.
Yeah, this was where Twitter failed me.
Me too.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, I saw one casting thing on it, and it made me very excited.
Yeah.
So I wanted to share that with you guys before you get spoiled.
Yeah.
Spoil me.
I haven't heard about it yet, but you sounded excited, and Rick's usually not excited.
Yeah, so are you going to sacrifice knowing a little bit more than you would have?
I
For
wouldn't.
Brooks' excitement?
I wouldn't for Spider-Man, but I'll do it for Superman.
Okay. Superman Legacy.
As long as it's not Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
Don't spoil me on that.
So far, we know that the Blue Beetle movie is going to be like the first in the new DCU. And
Sure.
that's pretty cool because we got our boy from Cobra Kai.
I like
Sure.
that.
So I'm already like, yeah, hell yeah. That's one piece of casting I'm good for.
Now, when you said Legacy, is that like because of the casting, or is it called Superman Legacy?
Superman Legacy.
It's called like the movie's gonna be called that.
I
Okay.
think so.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Ultra Sergeant is very excited in chat.
Do we
damn.
have pictures that we could
Says,
show while
"Fuck
we
you,
do
Aaron.
this?
How dare you besmirch?"
He's not Spider-Man, man. I like the Spider-Man. I love Superman and Lois. I hope this Superman really does it for me.
All right, let's see how it does it for you. Just
Well, I don't mean like the casting, but I mean like just the movie in general. Like I think
acting.
Superman and Lois just has really good storytelling that I just really enjoy what they do with it. Where a lot of Supermans, I feel like he's just really strong and
Yeah.
powerful and always wins.
I like feeling excited for
Except for when he
DC
doesn't.
movies again.
I saw a scene
Yeah, okay.
of Spider-Man and Lois in a diner. That was quite good.
I mean, I will
Superman
say,
and Lois, not Spider-Man and Lois, but yes. I'm pretty sure you said Spider-Man and Lois.
Did I say?
I thought you did. That's what I heard, but I might have misheard you too. But no, that scene is great.
Dang it, I did. Everybody's saying Spider-Man. Fuck you, Aaron. It's your
It's not my
fault.
fault.
You were talking about Spider-Man.
Our Spider-Man was
crossover.
there.
I know
Update.
what I'm talking about. I just say the wrong shit.
There's an update. Ultra says Eric James Gunn said this week that Blue Beetle movie is in its own continuity, but he'll continue to carry on playing the role. So it'll be its own continuity of that movie, but in this universe,
Man, I thought
that actor
everything was
plays
going to be
it.
connected.
Well,
That's
I don't
what
know,
they
man.
claim.
It's DC.
I'm tired of all this back and forth
I'm
stuff.
fine with it all
They're making
being
it extra confusing for
own
viewers.
continuity. Like,
So-
I like Joker.
Yeah, me too. I
I'm
love
fine with
Joker.
that if that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I'm not fine with it when they're like, all right, guys, this, Shazam or whatever is going to be the last of this.
Every movie
And
since
then
they've
everything
said that
after
has
this is
been
going
wrong.
to be connected in, and we're going to be doing this stuff. And then
I
it's like,
know.
well, you know what?
It's
No, this
incredibly
one's the last one.
frustrating.
No, this one's the last one. No, just stop it.
It's very frustrating, but I want to grant a clean slate somewhere.
Sure.
And I guess maybe that's going to be the Superman Legacy thing, but
Hopefully.
this isn't a spoiler. People know that we're doing this. Today we watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and it made me very excited for James Gunn to be the creative force behind the DC Universe. It really did. It was a very special movie that did a lot of cool things, and I'm excited for people to watch the reaction. But that makes me excited, as much as I feel like DC in the past has made me pessimistic.
Hey, I watched a Superman movie recently that I
Yeah,
really
you
enjoyed.
did. Oh, so fun.
We'll just more of that.
Okay. All right.
So Superman Legacy started the new continuity.
Okay.
Let's see this casting.
Yes.
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
What?
I'm looking at Jake's monitor.
Oh, I didn't know. I
Man.
thought you were telling me stuff, Rick.
Oh, I don't.
It's tiny.
I didn't know I was looking at something.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Who's reading?
All right.
But I don't know what's going on. It should be one of you guys, right?
Rick, I love your voice.
Yeah. you just want me to read this?
I don't know.
There's nothing here.
Someone just tell me the casting.
Vanity Fair has revealed that 3 actors have joined the cast as prominent members of the DC's Justice League. It appears that this opening episode of James Gunn DCU Chapter 1 is going to set up a lot more than just happenings in Metropolis. Gunn has also confirmed that these newly cast actors will definitely continue to play the characters throughout the DCU. Let us break down each addition to the cast.
All right, I'll take it over. So Isabella Merst will play Hawkgirl in Superman Legacy.
Dora.
That is Dora.
Dora from Dora the Explorer, which I have not seen,
The live action Dora.
Okay. Hawk Girl.
but that could be fun.
I like Hawkgirl.
Also include credits from Sicario, Day of the Soldado, and Dora. Yeah.
2 months ago, I was just a barista.
All right. Eddie Gathegi will be playing Mr. Terrific in Superman Legacy.
Cool.
Okay.
Mr. Terrific has one of the best moments in an Arrowverse show where he has these like balls, right? That like utilize and anyway, someone's hurt. The ball comes in. Aaron's like, "Yeah, the ball," and it just puts out a gigantic needle. He's like, "Ah!" And it just stabs him in the chest. It was one of the best turns
That's
that's
amazing.
ever happened.
The worst thing that happened with that was that they had been doing all this cool shit.
Yeah.
And then they showed up and like, man, I love these balls. And then that happened. I'm like, I hate these balls. Because someone just like grabbed it and just stabbed it into somebody. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
terrible.
All right. Next
I can
is
see this guy being Mr.
yeah.
T. Yeah, he
Looks
looks good.
cool.
I don't think I've seen anything that he's been in.
no known for Twilight films.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what that
X-Men
picture's
First
from.
Class.
Okay.
Ah. I have not seen that like trilogy of
That's right.
X-Men movies.
He played the guy whose power is that he can't die, and he died. That's right. Yeah, and then they killed him. God damn it!
He
that
can
is
adapt to
spoilers.
death.
First Class. It's been out long time.
Nathan Fillion will play Green Lantern
Oh.
Guy Gardner in Superman Legacy.
Gosh.
Guy Gardner.
Okay.
I don't know that one. But
I know
Nathan
Guy
Fillion, that's
Gardner.
cool.
I'm excited for that.
The loudmouth, egotistical Gardner is
Yeah.
one of several of
Loudmouth.
Earth-based Green Lanterns. Was a prominent member of the Justice League International. He's a big jerk. Most of the other superheroes in the DC universe can't stand him.
When they say big jerk, that kind of makes him sound lovable. Guy Gardner is not lovable.
I should
Is he not?
I should have assumed like what kind of casting we may see with James Gunn
Yeah.
because he kind of pulls in a lot of the same people. I feel
mean,
like,
yeah.
right?
I mean, he's been in Suicide Squad. He's been in.
well, I mean, I recognize that picture.
yeah, Guardians.
Yeah, luckily. I was like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, he's been in a lot, but it is cool for the people that know that he played Green Lantern.
He voices
him.
Yeah.
That he's been a big fan and always been like, if they're ever gonna do it, why not throw him in there? So
Well-
he gets like it's almost like a wink, but he is a Green Lantern. He can play a different person than
They're
someone like
also
Hal
wanting
Jordan.
these people to be voicing them in the animated stuff too, right? So that's part of the plan, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense then.
Anthony Kerrigan will
What?
play Metamorpho, the Element Man.
All right,
That's
Superman
gonna be
Legacy.
so good.
I didn't see this.
This is the one.
I'm more excited about
I
that
saw.
than Nathan
Okay, I
Fillion.
saw the other
kind of
ones. I
am
didn't see
too.
this one. This is cool.
I
No, I
love
saw this one in
Barry.
Nathan Fillion.
God, he's so good.
He's so good.
Oh my
from
gosh.
Barry. No, Hank.
That's a weird looking character.
Yeah, I've never heard of this character.
Yeah.
Me either.
So,
Metamorpho.
I mean, that's what
The
James
Element
Gunn's.
Man.
Guardians of the Galaxy were all characters. I'm like, I had never heard of those characters.
Yeah.
And he made me care about characters I never heard of. So
Well, if
I'm
he
in for that.
metamorphosizes into different elements and stuff like that, he's going to need to change. He's going to have to shave his head, and he's already got a shaved head. So
I love this.
bonus.
Metamorpho had his own series in the 60s, which spawned a very grooval vinyl record with a catchy theme song.
all right.
Oh, we'll have to track that down.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Groovy.
He's been on Justice League, Batman's Outsiders, The Doom Patrol, and most recently, The Terrifics.
Yeah. He was Victor Zsasz in Gotham too, right?
I
have not
believe
seen
so.
So he's already done some DC stuff.
And that's all.
That's great.
They
Well,
did
that's-
announce Lois too, right?
Well, Lois and Superman were announced a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Hmm.
So David Corenswet and Rachel Bronson, I think is the name.
Brosnan.
Brosnan
Well,
There's an H in there somewhere.
somewhere.
Brosnan.
Well, in that clipped tweet, the S is before the N.
Yeah, but there's an H and an E and an N later.
So
Brosnan.
I haven't seen either of these two in this, but this
So
guy
it's
looks like
Brosnan,
a cross of Tom
right?
Welling and Henry Cavill to me.
See? That's what I'm saying. There's an H somewhere that makes that.
Okay.
I just don't know. I just didn't know where it was.
But she's from the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch
Carmen's
that.
been going through that.
That's the lady, the comedian, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
I've been wanting to watch that for a while. Good.
So wait, is this all for Legacy, or this is all for just what's coming forward?
This is all for Legacy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then those characters will carry forward, it seems like, into other movies.
They'll be in movies and they'll voice their characters in cartoons and shows and games. They said too, right? At least that was the
Yeah, I think
plan.
so. Just Blue Beetle won't be connected, but the actor,
The character.
The actor will be, but the character is not.
Okay.
I
What a
mean,
time to be alive.
Blue Beetle. Put him with Booster Gold, and we're gonna have some great stuff.
Man, I wish Booster Gold was played by. Man, what's that guy's name from Scrubs?
Donald Faison.
Donald Faison, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean,
That'd be
that's
great.
it's not a big deal for you guys to know, but like he was, Legends of Tomorrow was going to do that next season.
But there is no next season.
No, not
Sons of
Zach Braff.
bitches.
And then people were trying to get, JD's actor to come and play Ted Kord.
Ted Kord.
Yeah, and you would have had the Blue Beetle and Booster Gold classic, and it would have been exactly what they did with Prison Break with Michael Schofield and Lincoln.
Sure, yeah. They brought them back together as characters in Flash.
And they were Captain Cold and Heatwave.
That was
it was
cool.
amazing.
Hmm.
Zach Braff, that's his name, sorry. But it didn't happen, and then they canceled Legends, and then didn't go and get him out of jail.
I just wanted them to just make a movie.
Right?
Make a movie. Tell me what happened.
Okay.
Just what I really wanted them to finish that. That was the one thing I was hoping Flash would do. It's like, just wrap that part up. Make me feel a little more complete.
Okay, so there's a tweet here where someone was saying, another great choice, but can you elaborate a little more on how including all these heroes is going to help tell Superman's story in this movie? He replied, we're entering a world where superheroes exist and have existed for quite a while. They're a part of one side of his world, just like Lois and Jimmy are part of another. And then I've never used one movie to set up another movie. The characters are there because they help to tell Superman's story better, not so we can set up separate projects in the franchise. Superman and Lois are the very clear protagonists. So those are our other characters in the movie, not meant to be just cameos, apparently.
Interesting.
All right.
But
Okay.
all telling something. I mean, Guy Gardner certainly will tell you about one side of being a superhero. So
Sure.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Hawkgirl, I could definitely see that. I don't know much about some Mr. Terrific. I only know his Arrowverse adaptation. I don't know much about him as an actual member of the Justice League. Other than he is the smartest person in the world, Mr. Terrific.
Okay.
All right.
Kind of like Fantastic Four's Reed Richards for Marvel,
Gotcha.
I think is the idea.
I'll be interested to see. I mean, I think he did a pretty good job with like Guardians, which had a lot of characters in it that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I felt like I understood who they were pretty decently. Suicide Squad also wasn't too bad with that. Like he did the second one.
Yeah,
Not
he
the
did
first
the second
one, though.
one after he got fired for
Sure.
Marvel at Disney. Came
Yeah.
in there and I mean just that opening. Well, I understand all the characters by their appearance and what they do in the first 10 seconds, and for some of them that's all it takes.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was definitely some really clear character work being done there. But for me, it was the long form Peacemaker that kind of caught me off guard and made me, like obviously he likes to take his time, and some of those scenes are just because you can tell like the actors are having fun on set, and it's not like contributing overall to a story thing, but it really developed characters in really interesting ways. And if you can do that for the DC set of superheroes, which sometimes have a reputation of being a little more above us looking down, I think that could work. And not in the way that Zack Snyder did it, which was to make it all dark and depressing all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Not to say I don't like dark and depressing sometimes. I love
Sure.
the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like raring to go into, seeing the Nightmare timeline or, all that stuff.
No, I get what you mean. I feel like the Zack Snyder cut did it better than the other cut.
Yeah.
Just it's one of those things, kind of like Spider-Man 3 and Justice League and stuff, where sometimes it feels like they're bringing characters in too soon or too quick, or like not like I don't like it's cool they're there, but who are they or why? Especially some of these characters. I don't know what was it? The Element Man, Morphometo or whatever. Metamorpho. Like I have no idea who that is. So I hope I understand who they are by the end of it and like and enjoy that character.
All I know is I know Absorbing Man, Crusher Creel from
Sure.
Marvel. So is that
Sure.
Eric, did I hear you right? Did you say Morphesto?
I said Morphesto.
You were trying to
You
fit
never know.
that
He
guy
could
in
show
there
up.
again.
He shows up in DC, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
No, it'll be interesting. And I'm excited for I don't remember his name, but NoHo Hank. Excited for him and Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I
And I
want-
mean, it's a big responsibility, in my opinion, to take on the mantle of Superman, and I wish that guy lots of success.
Yeah.
In doing so.
And let's hope the writer's strike doesn't screw it.
It will. Yeah.
Yeah, and the SAG has also voted to strike as well.
It was today when they started. So
Yeah.
the directors, they got a deal somehow already. They never struck, but the writers are still striking. The actors are striking today, and we'll start feeling those effects in the next 2 years, I'm going to say. Oh, see, that's the interesting thing is that the actors are not going to be fulfilling their contracts for a lot of these.
For the promotions.
Man,
For the
Ahsoka.
press.
I know.
That was me. Like, I fully support the actors and
Yeah.
the writers. That was me being selfish, but I hope I
Yeah.
want to see more from Ahsoka.
I don't want
Behind
to see
behind the
any-
scenes.
I don't see anything. Behind the scenes maybe, but I
I
don't
want
see.
like a Disney Gallery thing or like promotion out there. You know, I love the promotion for Obi-Wan where they just got Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen to go and just talk in front of people and talk about how much they were friends.
Yeah.
And that was all I needed. You know?
Yeah.
I kind of want that for an Ahsoka press junket in a way. I don't know. But I support the unions.
Is the
more than
actors
100%.
strike similar to the writer strike of like better rates and related towards like now you have like the you have streaming, right? So there's like the royalties of that as opposed to like, you know, you take Friends and the syndication and how that works for most of the actors and writers and stuff of that. Streaming hasn't really gone in that direction for anything, right?
Yeah.
I
Actors-
remember issues with like Black Widow, I think, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
And oh shoot, Emily Blunt, is that who was in Jungle Cruise? I remember
Yeah.
hearing issues with them like
Yeah,
not
both
getting
of them.
paid because it was we didn't really do a whole lot of theater stuff. We just kind of went to
It was
digital,
almost
on,
direct to digital.
on streaming.
Yeah.
And the money they got didn't quite equal out to what it should have been. But that's because of the way the contract was worded and all that kind of stuff. Is it a similar kind of idea to that for the actors?
Vanity Fair says actors are fighting for overall raises and increasing in streaming residual payments, as well as protection against the rise of AI.
Yeah.
I wonder what a protection against the rise of AI is looking at. Like,
I mean, I think it
Like-
would cover voice actors at the very least, right?
yeah, maybe.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know, like I
Well,
remember
and also
the
like how a franchise treats you, you know,
Sure.
Sure.
later down the road.
well the conversation we had too about shoot, who was it? James Dean or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
James Dean.
like they were gonna bring in a whole there was a whole new movie and they were gonna bring in like a digital version of that character, as opposed to it being like I feel like there's a difference. I think I talked about this before. Like if you bring back someone who's like, say you're gonna make an Indiana Jones 7, 8, 9, whatever many they're gonna do after Harrison Ford has passed, like trying to capture that Harrison Fordisms.
Yeah.
Even if you
Sure.
tossed them in between, like the 3 and 4, to try to get that. Like I could understand then, but this felt like we're just gonna make a whole new movie, use James Dean, and he
Yeah.
has no connection to anything about it. Just they wanted to use him, and that kind of stuff feels weird to me.
Like I could understand it as like a proof of concept is like, is this kind of technology ready? Is it past the point of the uncanny valley and stuff like that? But for the entire intention of the movie to have a deceased actor play the starring role, I feel like that's robbing work that you could give to a current actor now, you know?
Yeah,
I don't think Finding Jack ever came out. That was the James Dean movie.
sure. But for every one of those that doesn't come out, is there one of those that would come out?
Sure.
And are they looking at protection from like their likeness being used when they don't want it to be? Are they looking at people who have passed and being used when you should be using new people? You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know, take big names that people like to go watch in the movies. Like with AI and CGI, you could just never have to go to anyone else. You just always use them. You
Sure.
know. And it's like,
Did you see Digitally Nine's comment?
no, where are you? I don't know what you're looking at.
On chat, it said they say they want to pay background actors for a one-time payment and then use that footage over and over with AI creation for any and all future films with no payments, but just that one filming day.
So it's kind of like using the stock footage.
Yeah.
Just
But then you just change the stock footage.
Sure.
You create, profiles and prompts from all of that information, and now you don't have to do that anymore. Which, I mean, we could film background actors, 10 of them, and then make 10,000 people out of that. So, like, we do generate a little bit, but we still pay everybody for that work. I don't know. That's some messy business in there.
Yeah. You gonna repeat it?
Huh?
Well, one of the issues with Jake talking is that no one can hear him. So when you say like that makes sense,
Yeah,
they
Jake
have
needs
no,
to type.
They have
to
no
it.
idea.
I'm so sorry.
They have no idea what
I
makes
thought he was
sense.
on it. Oh.
Or he needs to hook up a mic
Yeah.
and just
Yeah. So we either need to repeat it or we need to get Jake a mic.
Well,
at some point.
he was just saying that because actors have to hit a certain threshold in their earnings to qualify for their insurance. If you're not making that amount of money, then suddenly you just don't have any insurance.
Sure.
So it's almost like you're being penalized because a company has now taken more of your performance and doesn't have to pay you for it.
Well, and a lot of what they make is through the residuals. So if they're doing that using AI to make it work and not paying residuals for that work they did, they lose all that. So I saw someone also mention about Grand Moff Tarkin, and that's another one of those where I feel like it makes more sense as long as it's okay within like the family estate and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like that movie, when they do that, is meant to be, say weeks before the events of Star Wars Episode 4. So like to have that character try to look as close to that character as you can instead of recasting it to be someone else,
And there was
I
also,
think makes sense. But if that was meant to be if they just did a whole new character and wanted to use Peter Cushing for, the next Superman, I feel like that doesn't make any sense. You know, he has no connection to that character. It doesn't make sense to try to use his likeness for that.
Yeah.
Like, is that something you need to write in your wills now? Like, no one will use my likeness for any movie after my death.
Well, yeah, that was the argument that was brought up with the would you say Looking for Jack? Was that the film with of people's likenesses being owned by the studio for this project, but then they repurpose it for this other thing against their estate's will, and then not having any like legal recourse in that.
I mean, even the estate, like, who knows if they're doing what that person would have wanted?
Sure. Yeah, you hope that their family or whoever's in charge of their estate after the fact would, follow their wishes, but
What was it? George Lucas that was buying like likenesses of like
so they
actors
couldn't
in his
be used
movies.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, he was buying them for the protection of if they're owned, then they're not in the what?
Public domain?
Public domain.
For as long as you can, legally. Right? Like we can, you can get away with Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yeah.
You're not paying for that likeness, right?
Sure.
But I mean, he was more of a
He was already a public figure
he's a public
anyway.
figure, so you can say, like, well, yeah, it's a satire, it's covered under fair use. I don't have to do that type of thing. But when will that happen for, how long in the future is it until someone can, Captain America can appear like that because he's part of society at a point, as a character.
Public domain, that kind of stuff.
The reason why we have copyright law now is because Disney didn't want to let its characters go into public domain, so they may change the law again and extend that out indefinitely. I don't know.
Didn't they lose like Steamboat Willie? Like they didn't lose Mickey Mouse, but they lost like Steamboat Willie or something like that.
Well,
and
yeah,
then, like Winnie the Pooh and Big
Winnie the
Litter
Pooh.
and public domain, but like I don't think like Rabbit and Tigger and those guys are yet.
I think it's because of who created those characters and when, or something like that. Like they were protected under some other thing, but whoever created those like passed and something like that, or when they first appeared, or
I mean, it's not even just like movies and stuff. I mean, if we're trying to future-proof this stuff, like AI is going to be used to one day to make custom video games. I'm going to be able to prompt like, I want this video game, but that guy's Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
and it's going to be able to do it. Like, that's
it'll be able to do something.
It's going to be something like that, and you got to prepare society for something like that because that's not going to be just make that look like Brad Pitt. It's going to be make that look like the cute girl down the street, and it's going to be scary. And there's going to be a lot of growing pains with that stuff, which is what like the big tech guys have been trying to warn for the last couple of years. Like, hey, this is happening, and it's happening so much quicker. So I think these labor unions are just trying to get ahead of that somehow. I wish them all the best, but I don't know what the answers are.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Hopefully they figure out something that they're happy with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. I feel like this is a little different than back with the writer's strike in, what was it, 2008 or so?
Yeah.
2007, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that one was just about better wages in general and working
Sure.
conditions. But this one, having this streaming and AI kind of aspect to it, I feel like really changes. And like you really got to like talk out a lot more of it because it's a little bit more complicated than just like we want paid more.
Yeah, it's not just about jobs. It's about
Yeah.
the limits that we need to put on it.
Thankfully, Neil Breen's new film will be unaffected.
Unaffected.
It's coming to theaters in August. Thank God. Cade, The Tortured Crossing.
You're
Hopefully in
saying
the
that
theater
he's not
near
on
you.
he's not on the cutting edge of the AI trend?
I mean, he might be.
He might be.
He might be AI himself.
Are you saying he's not using Union to work on his movies?
I'm saying it's already done. So, like, can't be affected. Done. Very excited. It's not in a theater near me. I wouldn't want to watch it in a theater anyway. I'll buy all the tickets I can. It's Aaron's idea. It's a great idea, Aaron.
All I said was like, Rick, but if you don't go to the theater, you're not going to support him. He won't have any more movies in the theater. You're like, you're right. I'll buy tickets and not go. All right.
Unseen moral support.
I thought you wanted more good movies, Rick.
I want more things that I love in this world.
You know what's going to happen
And
is,
the world is slowly killing them.
what's going to happen is he's going to start falling into that medium ground that you don't like, Rick.
Foundation of all great stories right there. You just said.
Is that you're gonna? It's like the what's the line from Batman? Like you're gonna see, like your hero turn to the villain.
Yep.
You either
start-
die the hero
Maybe.
or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah, like
I already-
he's gonna start making those movies that are in that mediocre zone that you're just like, it's terrible.
But the problem is he casts himself as both roles constantly.
Oh man.
So excited. But yeah, now's the time to react. We got to get ahead of this marketing train for his new film coming on in August.
The
So
marketing train. We should use the Superman marketing train and watch the Superman cartoon.
we watched the movie.
No, the cartoon, the cartoon.
Rick, you mentioning it right now might be the best marketing for that movie that's being done.
What? That's
Probably.
If you
ridiculous.
really think about it, it might be.
We should get Neil Breen on the podcast.
We should.
Oh no!
But we
I'd-
got to watch one of his
I would
things
do
first.
it. I'll do it. I'll talk to anybody.
I will.
It needs to be pre-recorded.
I think I might be sick that day.
I mean,
I
ready.
feel it coming on.
you like Las Vegas, right? We'll fly out there. Yeah. Do it in person. Be great. Ah, that would be such a good reaction. Man, it would be so good.
He is not sitting in my chair.
I want
I'm for anything.
I want them to see that movie so bad.
So good. I got Twitch questions. If we don't have anything else.
No, I opened up questions too because I wasn't sure what we had.
Sure, go ahead.
Questions.
Whenever I read questions, though, Rick always clicks them off. And I'm like, no, what if I wanted to go back and make sure I missed
You
something?
can't go back, only forward.
You just keep deleting things.
Oh, we'll have memes while we have this. Maybe. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
All right.
The one that you flashed on screen.
Should I
When I
switch?
first saw that meme, I immediately thought of that.
I feel this one that's on the screen right now in my soul.
Yeah, me too.
Just wait for it to go up.
Me too.
I like this first one. No.
Oh no, the
Quit
first
showing
one.
Him. Don't show him yet. No. Should I click off of this?
I don't know if they can see it.
Do you have the questions, Rick? Or
Like,
do you want me
I
to-
do. Becky Setch. Eric, don't worry about your messing up your play. Going back to that.
Uh-huh.
When in school, I played the oldest of Joseph's brothers.
Okay.
Only had 4 guys for the play. I had like 2 lines. Still managed to say the next brother's line during a song. Ha ha ha. Nightmare fuel for my brain.
Oh
During a
no!
song.
I'm sorry.
That's the worst.
I
Yeah,
love-
this
I love
meme
the-
is solid. I can't wait till Samurai Champloo wins.
I
Yeah.
didn't hear no bell.
I didn't hear no bell.
This is the one that I immediately thought of.
That's really
So accurate.
I've pulled the mask. Wait a minute.
It's a nice combination. I think the Baba has that blanket.
Oh,
like-
you're right.
Yeah.
blanket. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was her.
Colton
Woman hired it
MG.
because she called in sick to work. I love that.
I know you guys do a good job of avoiding spoilers for new movies, but how much are you aware of new movies' receptions before reacting to it? Does the movie's poor reception affect it being a reaction for the channel?
I'm more likely to hear reception than I am just spoilers.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen all the time, but every once in a while, I'll see something. But I wonder if I'm only seeing it because it got so crazy because it's a crazy take,
Sure.
or if it's because it's predominant. Sometimes I'm not really sure.
I definitely get receptions more than I got spoilers, but sometimes I miss it completely. I feel like just depends.
Usually it's still from viewers.
Yeah.
It's one of the most things I hear. I either hear things being great or terrible, whether it's through like comments on social media or if it's a stream chat or something like that, is when I hear the most of anything about most movies.
Same.
Or when we talk, maybe. You guys spoil me.
Like
I
when,
knew it. Like,
when
for example,
one of us watches a movie early, and you're like, I went to see that this weekend. No, it wasn't bad. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think there's one thing specifically that you would like, but I'm not going to tell you.
No.
It's usually what I hear.
Yeah.
The good thing about Aaron and I is my take has no effect on him.
yeah.
I can't trust it. We need to do the Mario Brothers
And
movie
hey,
still.
sometimes it works for me too. Like we did this in Badonkagonk, Aaron and I talked about this, but there was a High Republic book, I think the second one in the series, and when the High Republic came out, there was still a lot of turmoil, like a lot of turmoil in the Star Wars fandom, where some people were hyper focused on about thinking that certain creatives had certain agendas, so they were really, really working the griff grind, right? And there was a character in one of the books who's a rock.
Okay.
That's it. He's a rock. He can't. We don't see him speak. We don't see him move.
Got it.
But his crew talked about him about like, oh, that's that's him. He's fine. He was out in the town last night dancing with some girls. Came home, had to get rid of him. Like they're always talking about as if he can move.
Yeah.
And so anyway, when I started reading that book, I was like, oh, this must be the character everybody hated. And because I set the bar so low,
Sure.
and it was, in my opinion, done so well, it like elevated that character for me. And that might not ever have happened if I didn't have this thing sucks in the back of my
What
head.
happened to me with Avatar: The Last Airbender movie? The bar was set so low. I watched it and I was like, this isn't that bad.
It's not as bad as it could be.
No. There was a point where I'm like, yes, it's him. Like I
Yeah.
cheered for something in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's so good.
But Dragon Ball Evolution, that's as bad as it could be.
That one met my expectations.
Oh my god.
I love this meme.
Just have a good fight. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
This
Bye.
is a good meme.
It is a good meme.
Good.
going to
Everything
plan.
is going according to plan.
I don't get it.
Go
What?
see Taylor Swift.
No? Yeah.
Give me one of those chickens. I need every chicken in this room.
Miles of Gaming, any Ruby updates?
Ruby. Well, we don't have any currently, but whenever I hear the word Ruby, I'm always Ruby, and that's because I like it.
I do like it. I do want to watch it. Baby Obi.
Yeah, Obi was a hit. Now, when we were at the tournament, I was actually surprised. I mean, I don't think we have the biggest Pokemon presence on YouTube, but either just by general blind wave and people that also know us from Pokemon, we got recognized a little bit. But Obi was the star.
Nice.
Like, people were like pushing us out of the way, being like, can I take a picture of your dog? Can I take a video of your dog? Can you watch the video that I took of your dog?
That's how you got to talk to Buff Bagwell, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's how I got to Buff Bagwell.
I'm just saying,
Bagwell,
it was
yeah.
the outfits. You toss me in a Bulbasaur outfit and push me
Yeah.
around in a stroller, people are going to be taking pictures of me too, okay?
As you go to jail.
What?
Though I will say, shout out to one person. One of the nights we got room service. We got ice cream from room service, and the lady brought it up. I opened the door. I was in like a t-shirt and shorts. I opened the door. I'm like, oh, thank you, and she gave me this kind of weird look, and she's like, thanks. Closed the door, and then the phone rang, and it was her, and she's like, I'm sorry, because they actually didn't have the flavor that we wanted, and they had to call back and give us a new flavor. So she's like, I'm sorry about that. by the way, I'm a huge Blind Wave fan, and I'm sorry if that was awkward. I was just shocked to see Eric behind this door. So that was weird. That was one of like the craziest fan interactions I've ever had, and it was in Columbus, 2 hours away from our house. You know?
Right.
So that one was nuts. I don't think I've had one crazier than that one yet.
I had one in Marietta. Did I tell you guys that one?
In Marietta?
Yeah, I was getting like Little Caesar's pizza.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that or something. And I was walking down the plaza, and on my way walking back by, there's like a phone repair shop, and the guy's in there on the phone, and he like waved at me, and I stopped. I was like, I don't know why the guy waved at me, because it used to be a place that I knew, and there were people there from Radio Shack and stuff.
Sure.
But this guy I didn't
Like
recognize.
previously?
And I was like, I don't know that guy. Maybe he's just being nice. So I just kind of waved, kept walking. And then like as I'm going down, this guy comes out of there, like he had hung up. He ran out of his store. He ran down the sidewalk. He's like, "Are you Aaron from Blind Wave?" I was like, "Yeah." And like he started talking to me then. He's like, "Hey, if you guys need anything, like this is my phone repair shop. Just come on in, let me know." I'm like,
Oh, damn.
"Okay, thanks, man.
Cool.
Appreciate
I
it."
have a problem with my phone.
Well, you can go there. He knows Blind Wave.
Neat.
I've been getting more in Marietta lately too.
Really?
Have you?
Yeah, it happens occasionally. I went to Arby's one time, and this kid, I mean, he was younger, but he was really big, like tall, big kid. And he's like, "Hey, yeah, I know you." I'm like, "Oh, yeah?" He goes, "Yeah. When you guys were looking for editors, I applied. Never heard anything."
Oh no!
And he's like working at Arby's, and it looks like he's miserable. And I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm so sorry."
That's so embarrassing.
No, it was okay. I wasn't in Columbus. I was at the Marietta one. I don't think he would have killed me.
But he was from Columbus. He worked there first.
He was born at the Columbus
Yep.
Arby. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that could happen.
Loophole.
I like Kaiju Obi here, by the way.
That's
It's pretty good.
a giant steaming pile of shit behind him.
That is a great big pile of shit.
Next one, Nevargas. Hi guys, just want to know if you watched Akame Gay Kill and if there's a chance it will be in the pool. Have not watched it.
No.
No.
Tommy Akel.
Nope. I don't know what it is.
I've seen it on the big survey that we've done before, so it has been recommended and voted for.
Okay.
Which we'll be having something like that relatively soon, where people can recommend things to us.
Indeed.
That stupid face.
Is that your COVID hair?
I think it is.
It's here
Yeah,
now.
it looks longer.
That's longer.
You know what?
Your
That
beard's
might
a
be
little
from the
longer.
room
It might be.
Yeah,
where I'm like a little.
you're a little red.
I can
Little
see you wearing a pink
toasted.
shirt. Yeah.
Trying to
It
understand
was a
what's going on.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yizing wants to know, what's your favorite type of magic system? Do you prefer a hard magic system with loads of rules or a soft one that's not as consistent? How much exposition is too much?
I love when they had infect in it.
You love what?
Talking about Magic the Gathering, Infect decks.
Oh, is that what we're talking
Nope.
Oh.
Mute Aaron.
about? No, but why?
It depends on the medium. If I'm like playing a game, I like it to be a little bit deeper, and have a cool system. But sometimes, and in television shows, I would say I like the harder one. But
Yeah.
when it's a movie, when it's like we're asking for 2 or 3 hours of your time, keep it mysterious and don't let the characters know too much about what they do. Just that, show me what they feel about what they do.
Yeah, I think
I like-
largely agree with that.
I like a flexible system, but with consequences.
Yeah.
I don't want Magic to do everything. I don't want it to solve all of our problems. And then, like, the moment that we want it to be a challenge for our characters, they just forget how to do Magic.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to be able to try something, and then, like, it may work. It may have unforeseen side effects, or it may not work, and now it's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. I don't know. I just want the stories to have consistency.
Yeah.
I don't think I care one way or another if it has magic or not in it. But
I don't mind, like something like Lord of the Rings. You can watch Lord of the Rings and not understand the magic systems behind it. Like, well, Gandalf's actually an angel, and
sure, that
you
didn't
could-
bother me whenever like he's using magic with stuff or anything.
So if it is deeper and I have the option to go check it out, I think that's kind of cool too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it! I was gonna talk about the cluster chunk thing. That's from our That's from our. We had a Minecraft video. That's over on the Blind Wave Gaming channel.
Yeah.
That is me and Rick
It's a great edit.
with a few others, and then Eric and Calvin with a few others, and we battled each other for the first time in Cluster Chunk, and it was chaos.
It was chaos.
I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, chaos was fun. I'd like to do it again, maybe now that I know what to do. But it was very fun to prepare for the final battle.
Speaking of
And
chaos,
then I hid amongst the pigs. And I was hoping you guys were gonna swarm me, and I would go pigs. You'd set them all on fire. It didn't work.
It did not. It did not
died.
work.
I fell through the hole.
The pigs don't spread fire.
I didn't know that.
For future reference.
I put down a bunch of wood.
Put down a bunch of wood. Put the wood on the pigs.
speaking of chaos, tomorrow Mario Kart.
You should have brought that up early on the other meme.
Yeah,
The Mario Kart meme.
Mario
Should have done.
Kart.
You know what?
We're
Didn't
gonna
even
be
think
doing Mario
about it.
Kart.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
You
be
don't know?
fun.
See.
Did you not know that we're playing Mario Kart tomorrow?
Mario
Oh.
Kart was 100% the game that I went to when I think I only really felt true depression one time in my life, and that was the game that I used
To break yourself out
to
of it.
break myself out of it. I just played Mario Kart Wii online for like months.
Ever.
Nice. You got good at it.
I got pretty good at it.
Dun.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 ba-da, bum.
Where did we go? Where you played in a tournament?
MLG.
MLG. Yeah.
Columbus.
Was it? Yeah.
That wasn't for Mario Kart. That was for Smash.
You and your
Well, it
Funky
was for-
Kong.
We went up there
Funky
for
Kong.
Smash,
Yep.
and I obviously did terribly. And then they were it wasn't like an official tournament. They were just playing it. So I
Yeah.
went over there and played it.
Oh.
Fun.
I thought you played it at OhioCon.
I did it at OhioCon too.
Okay.
But no, I used Donkey Kong.
No, you
Thought
used
you were
Funky,
Funky
I thought.
Kong.
Never, not
You
once.
used Funky Kong
You're
on a
just
motorcycle.
simply incorrect. There's no argument to be
used
had. I know who I
the
used.
top-tier
I never
character with
once
the
used.
top-tier
Is this a Berenstein Bear
vehicle,
situation?
and then
Am I in a different
bragged out
universe?
all
No,
the
it's
people who
Aaron
sucked.
lies and makes a joke about it, and everyone believes him.
That's what happened. That's what
and
happened.
and that's the joke. The joke is that you have incorrect information.
Nope.
Saying I've been gaslit?
Nope.
Yeah.
He used. I
But
watched
by
him.
whom?
He see how he alters a little. I used the other monkey.
It's an ape.
No, I use the guy I've been using since I started that game. My brother always took Yoshi. I always liked Yoshi, but he took it, so I had to be somebody else. And I settled for Donkey Kong, and I kept it, and now I'm being mocked for it.
I played Yoshi. I think you played Funky because he was the cooler Kong, and
No.
he hasn't been in a game.
I've never
Since Wii,
I don't
right?
even. Well, I don't even. I've never played a game within minutes, so I never would use them. Like, I only play characters that I really like.
What? Wait, you played a Donkey Kong game though?
Well, no, I loved Yoshi, but my brother took it.
Yeah.
So then I started playing Mario Kart, and then I loved Mario Kart, and Donkey Kong was my character.
All right.
And then I really loved Donkey Kong Country as well. But
Funky Kong was in Donkey Kong
I
Country.
didn't get that far.
Well, he's what?
Hey, you can love that game just by listening to the first 3 levels music. Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't love it, but I love the music.
The music's great.
Music.
You don't love Donkey Kong Country?
No, I don't know. I just never get into it.
Do you like Mario?
I do like Mario.
You like
But you-
fun?
You know what?
But you-
Mario's pretty good.
Donkey Kong Country is great.
You know what else is great? Mario Kart 8, which is what we're going to be watching
Ooh.
or playing tomorrow.
I'm excited.
8?
Love that.
Gosh.
I think it's 8, right?
It
Or
is
Infinite.
It's 8
with an
slash
infinity,
infinite. Yeah.
infinity symbol.
So people asking about Ben 10 Alien Force,
Huh?
which you'll see our thoughts on that as the reactions come up.
We
Yeah.
have watched some.
Hey, it's me. According to Aaron,
It's true.
When they call you a walrus?
when I was typing on my keyboard.
Oh,
No, he called me that. Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Was Rick. Because you were typing loudly. Rick just started doing that.
You just heard him insulting someone and assumed it was you.
I did not call you a walrus.
I mean,
That's why I was so
usually
confused when you
it
said
is.
it was you.
Insult. It was an insult.
That's Rick. Add a Rick beard to that. And a Rick hair.
No,
She-
it's still me.
Don't say
not.
that.
No, you don't get to be a walrus. You're the otter. Rick can be the walrus. What? What, you gonna argue that? You don't want to be an otter?
But I was the one that was typing.
But
And
he
the
was the
keyboard's in front
walrus
of-
noise, Calvin. It was the noise.
Yeah, I went,
Like a walrus.
oh God, what have I done?
Oh, man.
I've opened and closed everything.
His machine's down.
All right. I guess I'll be the next
That's
one.
what a walrus would do.
I was trying to bring up bits and donations because we're almost out of time. Whoa, this has changed. Good Lord, I gotta figure this out. Aaron, give us another question.
That's like when Aaron was describing how he fell and hurt his leg.
All right. Wheel Magic says, any updates on the new website?
Yes, it is coming soon. Much like all software development, that last 20% is a killer. We made some big bug fixes that broke so much.
Yep.
Oh, yay.
So that's being fixed, and there's a few other things that need tested. But it is so close. I'm so excited. It's gonna be great.
The last part of Anthem also you didn't say, which says, I loved your reactions to the phenomenal live-action movie of Ben 10.
It was phenomenal.
That's on Patreon now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, go check that out.
It was a reaction.
And Ultra Sergeant says, my adventures with Superman? Please?
You know, if we hadn't just been so satisfied with Superman and Lois, and I was more hungry for it, I think maybe, but I just wasn't super hungry for it. We have so much to catch up on.
There's a lot to catch up on.
There's so much to catch up on. We hear people when they say like, guys, what about these series you haven't gotten back to? You know, like we hear you. Like we just gotta find it in the schedule, but also we gotta find stuff that people are searching for. And if this new Superman show does really well and people are asking for it, just keep telling us you want it, and we'll try to find a place in the schedule.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I said Superman and Lois is ending. We should just do Superman.
Yeah, I know.
Apparently, my vote got vetoed. Let's go on to... Wait, you have bits and donations?
I do.
Okay. Then
I hope I get it
No more
right.
questions, guys. I'm sorry.
Because, man, I don't know if you've seen Stream Elements today, Aaron, but it looks weird.
I did not open Stream Elements, no.
Storm Hover, thank you so much for the 27 months.
Thank you, Storm Hover.
Wheel Magic, 20 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Will Magic.
Michelle Bell, 19 months. Thank you.
Thank you for the 19 months.
Becky Setch, 20 months.
Thank you,
very
Becky.
much. Lore King, 2 months. Only channel that I even consider subbing to on Twitch. LOL.
Aw,
Thank you so much. It means a
Appreciate
lot.
it. Sandman, 37 months. Thank you.
Dream.
Sandman.
Dickus Bickus, 54 months, which is a lot of months. So thank you so much for that.
11.
You think there's something funny?
Star Killer, 36 months. Thank you guys for everything you do. I was really sad I did not run into you at Celebration. I left the day of the meetup, so was unable to see you then. Hope you all had a wonderful time in London town.
Sorry we missed you.
It was very busy, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was so nice.
It's true. This guy, Craig, 10 months. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Craig.
Craig.
Veronica, 36 months. 26 months to infinity and beyond. Love you. Keep being awesome, Blind Wave crew.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Veronica.
Dylan Chip, 2 months. Hey crew, passed all my tests and assessments to become a qualified truck driver today. Super happy and thankful for all the content you provide when times get stressful.
Well,
Congrats.
I'm glad we can help with the stressfulness. I always appreciate that our antics and ridiculousness sometimes can help make people's days better.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay safe out there on the road.
Yep.
And strike before AI replaces you.
Wait, what?
What?
Make sure you have a lot of water in your cab because everywhere's getting so hot.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So
Ugh.
hot.
And don't go to Florida because I guess they don't have any gas.
Or
There
rights.
Were, there were so
Oh, yeah? Did they run out of gas? I didn't hear that.
I've been hearing about shortages, and some of it's been like markets and food and stuff, but other ones have been like gas shortages and stuff too. But there's also been, I guess, like truck drivers and people who have been like immigrants and different things too, being like, hey, we're not helping anymore.
Sure.
Yeah.
Colton MG, just want to say thank you to Eric and Aaron for continuing to do their Superman and Lois reactions. It's been criminally underrated show.
It's so good.
It's so criminally underrated.
It's a show that no one asks for, but I'm very glad that we watch it because it's so good.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry. I was staring at you thinking of Superman while I was saying it.
I'm saying they got
You said
one.
like it's so good like 3 times in the same sentence.
It is. I'm usually not huge on Superman, but Superman and Lois is great. Like, I think Rick would love it.
I probably would. I don't know how to watch CW stuff, though. It's a mystery.
HBO
Just
Max,
HBO
I
Max.
think. Or,
Yeah.
sorry,
Max.
I have that. Bad Wolf subscribed for 18 months. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dweem Team for 55 months. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Oh, speaking of Dweem Team, I saw them ask if Calvin named his baby.
No. I'm not keeping it.
Are you not? I
You're
thought you had it
not?
in like a little jar.
That's just for the doctor.
Oh, okay.
Can we sell it for charity?
I think you should make it into a necklace.
No, that's weird.
Like, look at this shit I conquered, you know? I beat this shit. What?
It beat me.
You won. You're
That's-
alive. It's in a bottle.
It was never living to
won,
begin
man.
with.
Exactly.
It had the advantage.
I didn't say it was
It
dead,
was
dead.
causing me pain by doing nothing but existing.
What would happen if you ate it? Would it get stuck again?
It doesn't go through my bladder. It would just get stuck in my poop.
What
Right.
if you drank it?
Secret stuff.
That's the same thing.
All my Tuesday peeps know what I'm talking about.
Said Malik, 26 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sereno, 36 months. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Casual Doom, 38 months. Thank you very much. James X Games, 21 months. 21 months since they started Gravity Falls when I subbed. Love the content y'all make and excited for all the new stuff to come.
Such a fantastic show. Thank you.
Thank you,
I
James.
enjoyed Gravity Falls.
Yes, so good.
For Oregon, James?
An abandoned child wandering the streets of Marietta brings a tear to your eye.
What'd I miss?
He said he's taking his child back.
Got it. Gara gifted 4 subs.
Thank you, Gara.
Thank you, Gara.
Malik gifted 1.
Thank
the
you,
Baba.
Malik.
Thank you, Malik.
My Cabbages, just showing some podcast love. Thanks for the 18 months.
Woot. Thanks, my cabbages.
It's Dev, 8 months. Hopefully sometime down the road you guys watch The Bear. It's a fantastic show.
I've heard many
I've
good
heard-
things about it.
Fantastic things about
Is
it.
that the one on cocaine?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cocaine Bear.
That's
yeah,
the one.
That's the
Cocaine
one.
Bear.
We did a trailer.
12 months. Sandwich. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandwich.
Sub
you.
sandwich.
Thank you, Sandwich.
Sub Sandwich.
Gara gifted 4 more subs. Dang.
I believe
Thank you,
Gara,
Gara.
has gifted 15 subs.
Goodness.
It's a lot of subs.
Total.
And is not at all reflected in Stream Elements. Damn you, Stream Elements.
In a
Stream
row.
Elements
Damn you.
sucks.
Rick, I don't know what you're looking at. I have it open. It looks the same as it always
You'll
has.
have to come over and look at this nonsense. This is just madness going over here. It's probably because the walrus messed with my computer.
It's probably what happened.
Cuckoo, Kachoo.
Fomarak, 51 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fomarak.
Where are we at? Purple Grapes Grace, 37 months. Thank you.
Thank you.
Garrick Loran, 71 months.
Garrick Loran.
Damn.
Thank you, Garrick Loran.
Can barely count that high.
That's epic.
Abandon, 42 months. And finally, Leewick gifted a sub.
Thank you, Abandon, and thank you, Leewick.
Thank
you,
you.
buddy.
All right. Well, guys, as Rick said earlier, tomorrow at 3, we will be playing.
Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
Super Mario Kart 8.
It'd be fun. We
Mario
haven't
Kart
Super
8
Mario
Deluxe.
Kart 8finity.
It has a name.
Infinity. We haven't played that in a long time, so I
Mario
wonder
Kart
how it'd go.
time.
There's like 50 new tracks because they've been just
As
pouring
long
that
as you
stuff
have
out.
the like the DLC online thing. Or
We
whatever,
do.
right?
I haven't
So-
played for years.
That'd be fun. I definitely haven't played those. I don't even know which ones they brought in.
Yeah.
I hope there's some from the N64 because that's the one I played the most.
Yeah.
Alvin, did you ever play Mario
Should be a
Kart?
good time.
Nope.
This will be fun.
Oh!
See you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Why don't we play games?